Good day, everyone, and welcome back to the Clever Report. It's yours truly, Peter Clever. What we are going to talk about today is actually a very good win for the humanity, for common sense, and for fairness and justice, or even equity around the world. When we talk about false grave accusations and the way it ruins the lives of people that are targeted or the victims of this, it is very crazy because in false grave accusations, there are two victims: the the person that is accused and other victims that nobody actually thinks, people that are more likely not to believe just because there is a sequence, or there is a repeating pattern of women currently falsely accusing men. It is crazy. And in Asia, they don't play these stupid woke games that we play in the West. They don't do that, because when you falsely accuse somebody, you ruin the person's life and you ruin the lives of other real victims that might actually be, sexually molested. Sorry. Now, the story goes that a 26-year-old British woman with the name Isabella Rose actually falsely accused the banker she met on her way to Thailand, traveling to Thailand. The banker is based in Hong Kong. So the story goes that, according to multiple news sources, on the online, shows that he invited her. It's just like, from the way I'm seeing it, it's a typical sugar daddy, sugar girl situation. So he invited her over, and they did what they did, had, you know, sexual interaction with each other. And now she went out the next day and called the police on him, accused him of sexually harassing her. And at first, the news story showed that the guy was, dumbfounded, and he cooperated with the police. After multiple investigations, it was found out that he was basically blackmailing her, trying to extort money from her. Although she denies it, saying that it was compensation for her travels and medical bills. But there is a reasonable evidence, from the district court chaired by Adriana Noela Sechin, the judge in charge of that district court that convicted her. So she was basically blackmailing this guy. That is crazy. And the thing is that when we talk about this thing, people think that it's just the patriarchy trying to put women down or anything. No, it ruins people's life. Take a look at Benjamin Mendy, the former Man City left back and a French player. His life was ruined. And most of the times, we don't even get the names or the identities of these false grave accusers. But the person that was falsely accused, his name is actually dragged to the mud. He can't get a job. Benjamin Mendy's career was on the rise in 2018, but now he's nowhere to be found. Just look at Michael Ward. Just happened a few weeks ago. The way he was crying profusely in the church, and even though he has been found not guilty, even though there are still people, there's still a stigma, there's still news stories alleging him to be a rapist. That is why we're saying all these things. It's not as if we don't want to believe women. And this whole idea of believe women is stupid. It's stupid. Just believe people. If you want to believe anybody, the person must prove beyond reasonable doubt that what he or she is alleging is true. Somebody can just come and say this happened, and then just because of her chromosomes or because of her gender, you just automatically believe her and ruin other people's lives. So, according to that the judge described it, and I quote, "She's not even remorseful, and this is evil. This is evil." So she was trying to blackmail this guy, knowing that, you know just by mere accusation he would have caved, to the blackmail. And thank God, this is why I like Asia. Asian culture is superb. And this is because if this was in the West, I'm sure that guy would his life would have been over. This banker's life would have been over. So she was convicted, and she's going to spend 6 years, 6 solid years in jail. And this should be a deterrent to every other female in the world, or anybody that is actually going to falsely accuse somebody of any heinous crime. It is crazy because most people with no logical thinking frown at this crime, and it's a crime against humanity. So now the problem is that there are two victims anytime this kind of thing happens. The primary victim is the person whose life is ruined by the false allegation, and the secondary victim are the real women, vulnerable women that were actually molested. Because now everybody's go-to or knee jerk reaction or gut reaction will be, whenever somebody is alleging something, especially online, nobody is actually going to believe that person, because there's a track record. Stereotypes happen because of a reputation and pattern. Pattern recognition or pattern reputation. Many women are gaming the system. If this was in the West, this guy's life would have been over. It is crazy. Now it brings us to a second clip I want us to react to today. When we're talking about this false accusation at Princess Polly's grand opening, at a store grand opening, it was just trending on social media. You even think it's a comedy skit that a lady bumped into a guy. You watch the video, the guy was just composed, putting his hand in his sweater, not even being a jerk or anything. But the lady started immediately accusing him of being a creep, accusing him of touching her the way she didn't like. So I want us to watch the clip now, then I'll give you my take on the issue.
During the opening of Princess Polly, a woman allegedly tried to cut the line by accusing a man of sexual harassment, but other women quickly exposed her story and had her removed from the mall. A video showed a large crowd waiting outside the store. The woman appeared to move backward into a man standing behind her. She then raised her hand and loudly claimed that he had assaulted her. However, several women nearby had seen what happened. They immediately defended the man, saying the woman was the one who backed into him. Some people were also recording, so the entire incident was caught on camera. Viewers believe she may have made the accusation because she was impatient and wanted to remove the man from the line. After other customers challenged her claim, she was forced to leave the area. Many people said that without witnesses or recordings, the man could have been blamed, detained, or publicly labeled for something he did not do. Others said the incident also showed how women with bad intentions can damage trust for everyone else. Many reasonable women may later be doubted or treated unfairly when they report real harassment because people remember false claims like this. Viewers argue that this does not only hurt the falsely accused person, it can also make life harder for genuine victims who need others to believe and support them. What do you think?
Now, imagine if there were no cameras. If she had the guts to do this in a place where everybody was recording, there is CCTV cameras everywhere. If she had the guts to record it, to even allege this kind of thing, when it's so obvious that she bumped into her, then imagine what happens when there's no recording. Imagine what happens behind closed doors. Then qualify you to the number of false rape accusations all over the world. And I'm so happy, and I'm commending those women in that video. I'm commending them. They are doing the Lord's work for calling her out on her BS. I'm commending them. And she was actually, kicked off the store. And this is the plight of the average man in today's world. I argue that we are actually living under a matriarchal system because they give political power, enormous political power. This is not about equality. It's about a certain group of people trying to become lords over others, using every weird and dirty play in the book. It is crazy. Just imagine if there were no cameras there, or if it was at a blind spot and she just accused him. They would have taken him into the custody, and then his life would have been ruined. So this is the problem. And when we talk about these things, ladies, we don't. It's not as if we don't want to believe you people, but we want to believe people with facts. We don't want to ruin somebody's life or send somebody to jail or ruin somebody's reputation on the basis of a lady's emotion. No, this is not how the real world works. So I'm happy those ladies called her out. I'm happy Hong Kong actually jailed this British woman. She has to reflect on her stupid actions for 6 years, and then maybe we'll see if she will come out a better person. That is all I'm going to say about the whole issue. Please make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notification. Give me your take in the comment section, but as always, be respectful about it. Turn on post notifications so you'll be notified anytime I drop another video. Until next time, peace.